Imagine doubting Matheus Nunes. What kind of idiot would doubt Matheus Nunes? I've been telling you, if anyone from listening, I was like, guys, he's brilliant, Nunes. Why would you doubt him? What you'd have to be an idiot to think he's... I love it. I actually love it. I genuinely do love it when footballers make me look stupid, because it won't be the first time and it won't be the last time. Look, no, I still sort of stand roughly behind my Nunes stance, but I'm absolutely delighted for him. I genuinely am. I always want to be wrong. I want to be wrong about footballers. I want to be wrong about every player that plays for Manchester City, because I want them all to be brilliant. My gut instinct still tells me the same thing, which I'll get onto in a bit, but what I feel right now is absolutely irrelevant about Matheus Nunes. It truly is. It would be arrogant. That was a joke at the start. It'd be arrogant to me to put my opinion onto Nunes right now. The only thing any of us should be saying right now is well done. Absolutely. Absolutely, we should be giving the credit he deserves for a big performance tonight, for a guy who's had to be patient and had to wait for his chance. And tonight, he had to play well. He had to step up, and he did. He had a really good game against a side, if we're being honest, that aren't Manchester City's level. You know, they're a low-quality side, but you can only beat the team in front of you, and you can only do positive actions, as Guardiola would say, something like that. And you can only play with a smile on your face and have an impact on a game. And tonight, more than anyone, probably arguably more than Haaland, he did that, and I'm really happy for him. Matheus Nunes had a hand in 3 of the goals tonight, 2 assists and a goal as well for the penalty. A City beat Sparta Prague 5-0. It was a fun night. I didn't miss the first 10 minutes because I got back late from London. My train was a little bit delayed. Unfortunately, I missed the first 10 minutes, which apparently were quite fun. I saw Foden's goal on Twitter as I was in the car on the way back. I wasn't driving, don't worry, Nicola picked me up. I couldn't quite get the game. But then after that, the first half sort of... It went a bit boring, being honest. So there wasn't much joy to be had from that first half. It was a reasonably dull game. But the second half absolutely was an awful lot of fun as it sprung into life. Sprung into life due to a wonderful spring from a Norwegian god of a footballer, Erling Haaland, also away from that Nunes remontada tonight. Absolutely beautiful. A beautiful goal from Erling Haaland. An insanely special goal as well. Phenomenal. Like, that kind of goal is the kind of thing that you can't take for granted in football. Erling Haaland is Zlatan-esque finish with a back heel mid-air. I don't even know how you do it. A scorpion backwards back heel kick, which is all intentional. That's the thing. It's intentional. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. A wonderful goal from Erling Haaland, which sort of opened the floodgates. From that moment onwards, City were much better. The football got a little bit more open. And once again, it's just Sparta Prague, but it was fun. And so much about football. And I realise this more as I get older, by the way. And this is a bit of a side step. This is what you get from this channel. Like, I am not the stats guy. I'll give you them every now and then, but I'm not the stats guy. I think there's a tendency in football, and I had this realisation earlier when I was chatting on a podcast, tendency in football to analyse stats and tactics an awful lot because they're tangible things that we can sort of measure, you know, and quantify. But you can't measure confidence. And so much of football, I would argue the vast majority of football is about confidence. And confidence gains from, self-belief. Good football comes from self-belief and confidence. And it comes from enjoyment as well. And I don't think it was a coincidence that City, their football got so much better when Haaland scored a goal of such exuberant brilliance. It was joyous stuff. It was such a great goal. Savinho with a lovely assist. Haaland with the kind of goal that makes you laugh, that makes you enjoy football. And after that, City found their joy a little bit. Once again, just Sparta Prague. So I'm not going to tell you that was everything brilliant and we've changed the world. We haven't. It's a poor team. But was it fun? Yes. Did the players enjoy it? Did it open up the players to play more creative stuff? It absolutely did, and it gave them a little bit of joy, you know. And that's what I look for in football, because I do think happy footballers, confident footballers, they enjoy their football. And I don't think it's a coincidence. So that goal was beautiful from Haaland. Stones, of course, in between Haaland's brace, scored a lovely little goal. Nunes with the first assist of the night for him. A lovely curl cross to the back post with Stones. Johnny Stones coming up clutch right now with some great goals. A looped header to the back post. 3 goals for the season for John Stones now. Look, if we're not going to have goal scorers from midfield, John Stones needs to step up. And Ake won unfairly disallowed, I would argue. And Vardiel, look, we got goal scorers in the team from defence right now. It's nice. Lovely looped header. Haaland's second was beautiful as well, by the way. Like the way that he opened up his body, you put it in the corner. Some games are easy, Michael. I would argue against that. I think it's sort of a cliche, no easy games. Some games are easier than others, mate. This is definitely easier than Arsenal. Definitely easier than Wolves. Definitely easier than Newcastle. So I'm going to respectfully disagree. It's a cliche, but I get the idea behind it. But it was pretty easy, let's be honest, mate. You make it look easy if you turn up, you know. Anyway, it was a beautiful goal. Haaland second, great. Nunes with another assist, an easier assist. But the goal itself was great, like a lovely burst. I think it was Kanji to Rico to Foden to Nunes, back to Haaland. A lovely goal, and then of course finally Nunes won himself a penalty. Got up and put it into the top corner. Really nice penalty. Phil Foden's goal as well at the start, lovely. Very classic Phil Foden on the half turn. Drove forward into the area and put it in the bottom corner. Lovely stuff. For me, this game was all about opportunity and positivity. Look, City came into this, if I'm being honest, a little bit bruised and battered. We got the victory against Wolves, but I looked at that bench today. I was like, oh my God, we are down to the bare bones here right now, aren't we? We really, really are. Like, you looked at the bench and there was no Grealish today. Apparently, Grealish and Doku are both injured now for minimum 2 weeks. The Grealish apparently 7 to 10 days. Presume it's 14. Be sensible. Don't know about Doku, so you got a minimum 2 weeks for those two guys there. With no Rodri, with no De Bruyne, no Oscar Bob. You know what? Right now, it's not looking good in terms of injuries, and we only really had a few players on that bench today that could have been of any use. We got them all on for what it's worth. Every outfield player got on. McAtee, Kovacic, Vardy, Diaz, and O'Reilly, which was nice, but we need everyone to contribute. A couple of super chats. Danny, very timely, leading us on to my next point of conversation. I'm going to be, this is my time now giving Nunes his roses, and I'll give him a little bit more credit before I get into my opinion on him. Nunes was class today. He was good today. He had a really good game. Thank you so much for the super chat. Please get him in if you want to. It does help support the channel. It does mean the world to me. It helps. Get your super chats in with your takes from the game. It's more than appreciated. Yeah, Nunes had a great game today. Here are his stats, which show the picture. 2 assists. 89 touches, 95% pass accuracy will go down well with Guardiola. 61 out of 64, 3 key passes, and he actually completed 3 out of his 7 crosses, which isn't bad at all actually. 1 shot on target, which of course was the goal. Completed all of his dribbles. He worked really hard. He won 7 out of 11, so nearly 70% of his about 70% of his ground duels as well. He lost the ball 12 times. He's just kind of standing for anyone playing that wide, really. He had a cracking game. He got a 10 out of 10. You got a 10 out of 10 on SofaScore. There we go, man. And buzzing for him. So a really good game for Nunes today. Man of the match statistically, and absolutely deserving of his roses today. Super chat as well from Phil, saying the CFA lads scan the pitch every 3 seconds like Phil. I'm going to get onto that because that's my second point, and that will absolutely be on the 5 things learned tomorrow, Phil. Thank you so much for that. But what about to Nunes today? Look, like a lot of you watching this, you know my stance on Nunes. My stance on Nunes is not that he's a bad player. It isn't. I think Nunes is a good player. I've said that every single time I'm critical or discuss. I don't mean critical as in negative. I mean critical as in like discussing, like critical as in like an analysis of him. Every time I talk about Nunes, I always say he's a good player because I think he is a good player. The difference is Manchester City's midfielders at the best are geniuses. That's the level. They are geniuses. We're talking about Premier League all-timers here. Yaya Toure, Ilkay Gundogan, Fernandinho's a DM, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva at his peak in midfield, Ilkay Gundogan, the Premier League all-timers. That is the level. You could build Premier League 11s and put 6 City midfielders in 2 of them, if you wanted to. That is the level we're on about. So this is what I talk about when I talk about Nunes, These are the levels that we demand. Do I think Nunes can get there? I don't think he can. I still believe that. I want to be wrong desperately. I think Nunes, if you had Nunes at Sparta Prague, he'd be their best player and he'd sign for a Premier League side. I expect Nunes to be too good for Sparta Prague. I want him to be too good for Arsenal. I want him to be too good for Liverpool. I want him to be too good for Real Madrid because that is Manchester City's level at the very best. And that is what I'm hoping for. So when I'm critical of Nunes, I'm not doing it because I've got an agenda. I'm doing it because that's what Guardiola would do. Guardiola wants players who are special. He wants all-timers. So this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at with Nunes. And I really feel strongly about it. But what I will say is there's no more powerful drug than confidence in football. There's no way that Nunes hasn't picked up a thing or two playing alongside these these great players. I still feel he's a level below our very best. I don't think he's anywhere near the team Rodri, KDB, even if Gundogan finds his form of Foden or whatever. But I do honestly hope that Nunes uses today as a springboard, because he has to be involved. To be quite simple with you, we need him. We need Nunes because we do not have the legs right now. We know De Bruyne, no Rodri. Gundogan, 34 years old tomorrow. Bernardo, not exactly younger these days. But we need him. So tonight is a great springboard for him. I'm still not sure he's a great left winger. They once again, Sparta Prague, I expect him to be there. But this was his day, and I'm not trying to take away from him. I swear I'm not. Man of the match today, great performance, but we need him to do this against better sides. Fingers crossed he can do. That's what I want to see. So that's where I stand on Nunes. So when I'm critical of it, I'm critical for the right reasons. I want to see genius level stuff. I want to see performances where he affects the game against the good side. So this is a very poor team tonight. That's not to take away from his performance. It's to add perspective. You can only beat the teams in front of you. The difference is, when I get excited by an Erling Haaland performance against Sparta Prague or a Phil Foden one, is because I've seen him score a hat-trick against United, both of them. That is the difference. Or so I've seen, Foden put it in the top corner at the Bernabeu. That's the difference. That's why I can enjoy Foden a bit more against those sides, because I know he can do it. So, for Nunes, he still has that question mark over him. He should start the weekend, Michael. Absolutely. Michael in the chat, he should start against Southampton. So that's what I want to see for him. I do not dislike Nunes. I'm just not sure yet he's level of the best ones. I hope I'm wrong. I really like this comment, because this is something I actually tweeted during towards the end of the game as well. I really, hand on heart, don't believe it's a coincidence. I tweeted this here. Let me show you here. I said, I don't think it's a coincidence that the more academy players you have on the pitch, the more technical we look. It happens every single time. It does. I'm not saying we're at our best, but we always look more technical. The level of scanning and the level of technical ability, the little flicks and all that kind of stuff, it just goes up. It does go up. But the movement, every academy player, I'm not saying McAtee's the level of De Bruyne. He's not. I'm not saying Nico Riley's the level of, Kovacic yet. He's not. But these people, McAtee, Rodri, Foden, whatever, they're so well versed in positional play. They're so inherently technical that you can see that the little one-touch stuff, it's really good. And I like it, so I enjoy it. And it's a really nice little sign. And as Phil said there with the super chat, mate, they do scan the pitch every 3 seconds. And I really like to see it. And I thought, do you know what, McAtee, look, he wasn't the story tonight, but I liked his little cameo. I did. There was a little moment right at the end when McAtee burst between two players. He overran the ball. He did, admittedly, but McAtee would not have tried that 2 weeks ago, probably a month ago. But what's happened since a month ago? He scored his first goal for City. He had great international break, scoring 2 for under 21s. I think he scored 3. Was it 3 he scored in 2 games? I don't know. Either way, he had a great time. And I think McAtee is showing signs of believing that he belongs, because I know how good McAtee can be. And that's what I want to see from him. And I'm happy about that. And Rico, great as always. Phil, yeah, absolutely. Phil, thank you very much. Brooks with a super chat as well. Brooks just supporting, I think. Thank you so much, Brooks. Absolutely love you, my friend. This comment here saying Stephen definitely head into the Arndale for definitely maybe Nunes kit. Strange times we're living in. Step too far there, mate. I'd have a Nunes name, but I won't have the definitely maybe kit. Sorry, lads. I still think it's an absolute diabolical kit. Yeah, those little concentric circles are hitting me right in the chest to prove me wrong for Nunes. Look, you guys know me. I don't do agendas with footballers. I just do my honest opinions. I want everyone to do well. You don't realise this is better City do. Life is easier for me. I don't like arguing. I want to talk about good stuff of a football. I want Nunes to be brilliant. I want City to be brilliant. I want every player to be brilliant. I don't dislike any City player unless they're a twat. I don't think Nunes is a twat, so there we go. Analysis. But I enjoyed it tonight. I'm not saying we were brilliant, but it was a good, fun game. City had some nice football and scored some good goals. And once again, football is a healer. Fun football makes you feel confident. It gives you energy to talk like I'm talking right now, and it makes you feel good. Guys, please give the video a like, by the way. It'd be massively appreciated. I've not even been paying attention to my subscribers because the last 2 weeks I've been so tired. Yeah, look, let's get the subscribers back up. If you can, it's dipped a little bit recently because I've been a bit ill, international break. Let's get subscribers if you can. Give the video some support in the comments if you don't mind. It'd be massively appreciated. Let me know your man of the match as well. It probably was Nunes, isn't it? Haaland, by the way, again. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Haaland, look. So good. So good. I haven't even talked about Savinho, by the way. Savinho had such a positive game tonight as well. I don't. Oh, thanks, Brooks. Very kind, mate. I don't think Savinho was insane, but he was good, man. He was really good, Savinho, tonight. A lovely assist for Haaland. Keeps the ball, key passes, creates chances. He works really hard. He does give the ball away every now and then. Of course he does. But the one thing I love about Savinho is his work rate is impeccable. He works really hard to get back. When you've got that inherent talent that you've got, and the fact that he's adapted to Premier League level pretty well. Look, I'm not saying he's adapted to become a world-class winger at City, but he's come to a very good level very quickly with good moments in the hardest league in the world, and I would argue. Not the hardest, the second hardest, top 2 leagues in the world, you know. Did it in La Liga, doing it in the Premier League. You'll get better and better with time. 20 years old. Savinho has the right attitude. He has the right mentality. Yeah, really, really good, and I'm happy for him. Phil Foden, look, another step in the right direction for Phil tonight. That man loves a shot these days. He got his 5 shots away tonight. He's got a beautiful goal. The more involved he is, the better. Haaland continues to be ridiculous. 44 goals in 42 games in the Champions League. That's an absurd level of brilliance. I think also tonight as well, City broke United's record in the Champions League. I feel so strongly about these things. I think they're a massive thing areas for you. I think they are. They build heritage. They build standards. It's ridiculous. 26 game unbeatens and broken the record for the longest streak in European Cup Champions League history. Look, that stuff, it makes legends. It's iconic stuff. That sets standards. That's the kind of stuff you put up on a wall. And yeah, really, really impressive. And I think it matters that. Absolutely wonderful. I love these quotes, by the way, from Phil Foden. I love that. As Phil said, I just spoke to him. I said, mate, if I tried to do that, I'd pull my groin. Don't know how he does it. It's just how his long legs are, innit? He's a freak. He has talent that no one else can do. Absolutely. Look, Zlatan is the only person I've seen do that before. Like the yoga, karate stuff at 6'5", ridiculous. It's a third goal. And yeah, he's right. They do want it still. That's the standard Phil set. He wants to get there. I don't think Phil got man of the match. That feels generous, but you'll take it, won't you, if you're Phil Foden? And I like that, by the way. Savinho created the most chances, completed the most dribbles, was the most foul player. Most foul player, 1 foul. That's a high bar. It's a low bar there, I would say. Nunes, absolutely excellent tonight, as you can see there. Look, it was a fun night, and I really enjoyed it tonight. I really did. Great to see Ake back on the pitch starting. I thought Ake had a really nice game. I think his goal should have stood, by the way. I don't like that rule. I think you wouldn't give a penalty for that, so why give it why penalise Ake? That law, it's nonsense. I don't get it personally. And people mentioned Llorente on Twitter, but that was different. Llorente threw his body at it and he scored off his arm. Totally different to that, I would argue, where Ake had a shot blocked from the keeper and it bounced off the keeper from a yard away and hit Ake's arm next to him. I think it's totally different, you know. And then he put it in with his feet. So, yeah. But anyway, tonight was needed. It was a feel-good night. It wasn't it wasn't like a brilliant team we played against or anything like that. But we had fun. We scored some goals and we're in a good position. I'll put more detail in tomorrow. I have a really long day. I've been out all day, so I'm going to go give this video an end now. But please let me know your thoughts on the game. Give me your top 5 takes from the game, and hopefully that'll feed into tomorrow's 5 things learned. For now, though, Nunes, I'm honestly happy for him. I want more than anything to be wrong. I really do. I truly do. I want him to be brilliant. I hope he can be. Hope this is a springboard. In a bit, guys. Love you all loads. Good night.